All right, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you back to America Talks Live. We are live. We're about to embark on our panel, but you're welcome to weigh in. We always solicit your calls at 877-NEWSMAX, 877-NEWSMAX. That's the number. Call now. Joining us on the panel, Kristin Tate, libertarian author and political columnist, founder of thelibertarianchick.com, and author of Government Gone Wild. And before I introduce our next guest, I have some bad news for you guys out there, especially the guy who used to call in and just wanted to hear Kristin say, what do you say it?
I'm a libertarian chick.
He loved that. Kristin, we need to congratulate her because she got married, I think 5 minutes ago, and sprung it on us in the makeup chair that she got married. So congratulations, Kristin. Great news. And,
Thank you.
And your husband's a very lucky man.
Thank you
All right.
so much.
And joining us for the first time, and boy, he missed his whole opportunity to have any chat with Kristin, is Rushad Thomas, program and editorial associate for the Calvin Coolidge Presidential Foundation. Rushad, welcome aboard, sir.
Thanks so much for having me.
My pleasure.
I'm the libertarian dude.
There you go. All right, so let's start with the new bride, because that's only appropriate. I don't even know where to start. First of all, this tragedy at the train. They're now saying 1 dead, about 75 wounded. That's the latest number in Hoboken, New Jersey. We'll keep you abreast of all that. But it's interesting. The president spoke yesterday to CNN, and he was asked, why don't you say Islamic terror? And he went on and on about how, if Christians were killing people and they said it was they were Christian terrorists or whatever, or it was in the name of Christianity, I wouldn't legitimize that. And here's the problem with that. There's, anybody's allowed to interpret their religion any way they want. And if someone who is an Islamic says the Quran tells me to kill and then I'm going to go to heaven and that's my belief, well, then you got to give them that they're doing it in the name of their God according to their own mind. So that excuse doesn't hold water to me.
Yeah, it really doesn't. And Obama does not acknowledge the facts. Most Muslims are not terrorists, but most terrorists, most people who have committed acts of terrorism in the last few years are Muslims. So, we have to acknowledge the facts here. Obama does not do that. And he further victimizes people based on religion instead of, trying to keep us safe by acknowledging the facts about radical Islam.
Right. Rushad?
Well, I think we should take a step back and think about comparisons of other forms of terrorism throughout history. Look at the Irish, the Northern Irish Republican Army, the KKK here in the United States. Those were all acts of terrorism that had a religious tint to them. Catholic, Catholic in the case of the IRA, and normally Protestant Christian when it came to the KKK. I think what the president said actually makes a lot of sense, because the KKK did not represent the views of the vast majority of Christians in the United States. The IRA did not represent the vast majority of views of Catholics.
Rushad, the KKK going after blacks and hating Jews, there's nothing in the Bible that they pointed to that said we're doing it because it says here. They did it at. Wait.
They did invoke their Christian faith and their beliefs.
They did it out of hatred. And they didn't, believe that they were going to heaven because God told them to do it. They never said they did it for God.
If you look at the literature of the KKK from the 1950s, 60s, they would beg to differ, because they did explicitly say they were doing this based upon their interpretation of Christianity. And you're right when you say that different people have different interpretations of their religion, and I do agree. You should take people at their word when they say that they're motivated by their religious faith.
Well,
but the thing that I think the president is getting at is that he doesn't want people to think that all Muslims
No, that's not what he said. No, that's not what he said. No, that's not what he said. He didn't say that. He said, and we have the bite if we can find it, but he said that it's not Islam. Now, you know what? In Judaism, there's Jews that are. Wait, let me finish. There's Reform Jews. There's conservative Jews, there's Orthodox Jews, there's Hasidic Jews, there's all kinds of different ways to interpret and practice the religion. In Christianity, there's all different denominations of Christianity. People have different beliefs. So who is he to say that in Islam, It's not Islam if you believe a certain way.
Okay, well then, in that case, you're impugning President George W. Bush, who days after 9/11
I'm not talking about
went to
President
a
George
mosque
W.
and
Bush. I'm
said
talking
exactly
about Barack
substantially the same thing
Obama.
that President
I'm
Obama
talking
said.
about Barack Obama. I'm not talking about George W. Bush.
President Bush said the same thing a few days after 9/11.
I'm not talking about George.
Mosque.
Then he was wrong too. I don't know what you're. I don't know
Because
what you're
you're
referring to
president, your
specifically
words
that he
matter.
said.
And the type of tone that you set with regard to our approach to dealing with these very complex issues.
They're not
that
complex.
matters.
They're not, well, how are they complex, Rushad? How's it complex that these terrorist thugs believe that you kill the infidel and you go to heaven? How's that complex?
Well, it's complex because the reason that people are motivated to go to these extremist views within Islam are various. And the way that we get at them is not by implicating the vast majority.
No,
of
you
Muslims
see, nobody's
their
implicating the
hatred.
vast majority of Muslims. You're accusing us of, but nobody's
No, I'm
doing
not.
it.
I
We're
don't think the
talking
vast
about the
majority of
ones
Muslims
who
are
do it.
terrorists
Radical Islam.
The ones who do it, Rushad. That's what
Yes.
I'm talking about. The ones who do it. All right, let's move on.
As am I.
Otherwise,
You're
we're
despicable.
going to be here all day. Okay, so the debate. Kristin, first time I've had a chance to talk to you since the debate, and again, I'll just be a broken record. Donald Trump missed opportunity after opportunity after he ran the carpet, the floor over her with economics in the beginning of the debate and the trade agreements and the trade deals. But then he never mentioned Benghazi, never mentioned the emails, except you released the emails, I'll release my tax returns. The whole cyber spying, cyber hacking section, he should have turned into how could she be so reckless with her emails in this climate. I mean, a million things I could have brought up, and he did none of it.
That's right. I've been saying from the beginning, Steve, that Trump can absolutely win this election. It's all going to come down to the debates. He squandered a huge opportunity here. He did not hammer Hillary like she needed to be hammered. Having said that, everyone watching that debate who's honest will admit that the cards were stacked against Trump. Lester Holt, the moderator, interrupted Trump and pushed back on him 12 times. 12 times while only doing that to Hillary twice. And if you look at the questions asked, they were clearly constructed to, make Trump look bad. They spent 15 minutes on Obama's birth certificate. They talked about Trump's comments on women. However, there were no questions about Hillary's health, which is a valid concern at this point. The various scandals, Benghazi, the emails. I mean, there was barely any time spent on that stuff. So you have to admit that it was a bad situation for Trump. However, he didn't step up to the plate and do the best he could. I still think there's a chance for him to turn it around in the next debate.
Oh, yeah. But Rushad, how about Lester Holt saying, did you actually tell the FBI that you thought on document after document, when you saw C, the letter C, you thought it meant paragraph C? That's what you told the FBI? And did you ever see a paragraph A labeled or a paragraph B labeled? How about that as a question?
I don't fault Lester Holt because in a free-flowing debate, you have 90 minutes where both candidates can basically say whatever they want to say. So if Trump didn't bring up things about Hillary's record that you both think are pertinent, and I do as well, that's on him. It's not on Lester Holt.
Absolutely, but Lester Holt picked the other topics.
The fact that that Lester Holt brought up issues like birtherism and like Trump's comments, that is because for 5 years Trump was the birther in chief.
But Lester Holt did not.
That's not Lester Holt's
well,
fault.
what is Lester Holt's fault is he did not bring up that Sid Blumenthal told McClatchy.
That's not the point.
After
Obama released his birth certificate, continued pushing the birther issue.
For years, the Benghazi scandal has been hanging over Hillary Clinton. People have been talking about that for years. Why did Lester Holt not bring that to the table? This is something Americans care about.
Run by Trey Gowdy exonerated Hillary for that.
They exonerated Hillary? I don't know what you're watching. All right, I don't know what you're watching, but this birther issue, if it were true, if Lester Holt was a true journalist, he would have said, here's a picture, here's the statement put out by the Obama campaign at the time, by David Plouffe, who deplored that you and your campaign in 2008 put out this picture of Barack Obama in Muslim garb. He called it the lowest of the low.
Well,
but he didn't do that because he's not a true journalist.
Clinton's campaign manager, Patty Solis-Doyle, was on television news hours after the debate on Monday, refuting everything that Trump said about the role that the Clinton campaign played in
No.
starting
Well, all you had to
But
do was go back
aside
and
from
quote
that,
from
even if,
Barack
I would
Obama's
concede,
campaign.
Even if Clinton
Final-
was responsible,
final
which
word.
I don't believe.
Final
Trump
word,
is the one who
Kristin. Go ahead.
spent 5 years
Rushad,
after
if
Obama released his birth
Lester
certificate
Holt-
trumpeting the birther thing.
If Lester Holt had run this debate the opposite way, the mainstream media would be livid. Can you imagine if he spent most of this debate like hammering Hillary about her email server and asked no tough questions of Trump? You would not be sitting here right now saying, "Oh well, you know, too bad that Hillary didn't."
It's
insert herself
spelled,
more."
guys. It's spelled double standard, and the media gone crazy. All right, Kristin and Rushad, I got to go, but I thank you both. Up next, folks, Harry Houck, CNN law enforcement analyst. There's new developments in 2 police shootings. Don't go away.